Welcome back to the channel. Applied Digital Corporation, commonly known as APLD, operates in a critical yet often overlooked layer of the modern technology ecosystem, where artificial intelligence becomes possible in the real world. While most conversations around AI focus on software, applications, headlines, or short-term market movements, none of that innovation can function without large-scale physical infrastructure running continuously behind the scenes. APLD is positioned within this foundational layer, centered on data centers, high-performance computing environments, power delivery systems, and advanced cooling technology designed to support AI workloads at scale. In this space, progress is not measured by daily price changes or screen-based numbers, but by megawatts of available power, thermal efficiency, uptime reliability, and the ability to execute complex infrastructure projects over long time horizons. Artificial intelligence does not respond to hype or sentiment. It responds to whether the physical systems supporting it are built correctly, powered consistently, and operated with discipline. This content is created strictly for educational and informational purposes only, and should not be interpreted as financial, investment, trading, legal, or tax advice of any kind. The creator is not a licensed or registered financial advisor. Any companies, sectors, technologies, currencies, numerical examples, or dollar figures referenced throughout this discussion are used purely for explanation and illustration and do not represent price targets, forecasts, guarantees, or recommendations. This content may include advertisements or affiliate promotions. All opinions are based on publicly available information, and viewers remain fully responsible for their own decisions, acknowledging that participation in financial markets involves risk, including the potential loss of capital. When people first enter market-related discussions, their attention often goes immediately to small, simple dollar figures such as $1, $2, $3, $5, or $10. These numbers feel easy to understand and psychologically comfortable, creating the impression that markets and technology trends can be reduced to basic numerical milestones. However, artificial intelligence and digital infrastructure do not operate on these human reference points at all. In reality, AI functions within a world defined by physical limits, engineering complexity, and operational execution. The real drivers of progress exist far below the surface in the form of data centers, electrical substations, transmission lines, cooling systems, networking architecture, redundancy planning, and non-stop operational reliability. These systems continue to operate regardless of daily market conversations or short-term sentiment. Companies operating in AI infrastructure, including APLD, are involved in building and maintaining the environments where high-performance computing workloads can run continuously. At this level, success is measured by whether systems remain online, power stays stable, cooling performs efficiently, and facilities scale according to long-term demand rather than short-term narratives. The global AI and data center industry is deeply tied to the US dollar, not because of speculation, but because of structural necessity. Land acquisition, zoning approvals, construction materials such as steel and concrete, electrical transformers, generators, advanced computing hardware, long-term power purchase agreements, and financing structures are almost always priced in USD. This naturally causes dollar figures to appear frequently in discussions, even when they are not intended to signal outcomes. As conversations evolve, people often begin referencing mid-range numbers like $15, $20, $25, $30, $35, $40, or $50. These figures are not predictions, they are conversational tools used to describe scale, comparison, or perceived value within a dollar-based framework. Artificial intelligence systems themselves do not respond to these numbers. They respond to compute density, energy efficiency, cooling performance, latency, redundancy, and the ability of infrastructure operators to meet technical requirements without interruption. Behind the scenes, planning for AI infrastructure involves timelines that stretch across many years. Decisions are shaped by energy availability, regional electricity pricing, grid stability, regulatory environments, permitting timelines, labor conditions, interest rate cycles, supply chain reliability, and currency strength. These variables exist largely outside the control of any single company and require disciplined, long-term planning rather than reactive thinking. As artificial intelligence adoption expands across healthcare, finance, logistics, manufacturing, research, education, and government systems, data centers are becoming increasingly energy intensive. Electricity is no longer just an operating expense, it is a strategic resource. Infrastructure location, access to reliable power, cooling efficiency, and scalability now matter more than hype or daily market noise. This shift explains why companies operating in the AI infrastructure space are often evaluated through long-term capability and execution quality rather than short-term excitement. Infrastructure businesses are built to operate for decades, not quarters. Any dollar figures mentioned throughout these discussions are best understood as educational reference points, not expectations of future performance. As discussions continue, attention sometimes drifts toward larger round numbers such as $60, $75, $90, $100, or even higher figures. These numbers feel significant and memorable, but they remain human labels used for conversation rather than indicators of where anything should go or remain. Artificial intelligence infrastructure does not recognize these milestones. It responds only to sustained demand for compute capacity, power availability, cooling performance, and operational reliability. In the end, whether someone focuses on $3 at the beginning of a discussion, $25 in the middle, or $100 toward the end, these figures are simply reference markers that help structure conversation, but do not define reality. The deeper story is that artificial intelligence represents a long-term infrastructure supercycle built on physical systems, disciplined execution, energy management, and a global economy that continues to operate within a U.S. dollar-denominated framework. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe. See you into the next video.